Well, good morning, everybody. For literacy today, we're going to be learning a new skill. So we've looked at our suffixes that we're going to use in our writing later on this week. And today we're going to turn our attention to a punctuation mark called the colon. Now, if you haven't seen the colon before, and I know that many of you have, a colon consists of two dots, one above the other. You will notice if you've been following the readings I've posted on Seesaw of Letters from the Lighthouse that I always write in the title box Letters from the Lighthouse, and then I write the chapter number with a colon explaining what that chapter is called. So today it's chapter 8, Loose Lips Sink Ships. So the colon is there, so look out for that. So how do we use a colon? A colon is often used to introduce a list. So for example, you will need to bring 3 things to the party, colon, because now we're going to explain what those 3 things are. Some food, comma, something to drink, and a small gift for the host. So we put the colon just before we start writing the items in the list. Let's have a look at an example of that from the book Letters from the Lighthouse. You might remember this section when they're packing to be evacuated. Cliff and me spent the weekend packing, colon, and now we have the list of things that they've packed. Underclothes, nightclothes, sweaters, socks, toothbrushes, combs. You might want to use the word and before the last item on the list. So we've got the section before the colon, which is a sentence in itself. Cliff and me spent the weekend packing. So that makes sense as a sentence by itself. Then we have the colon, and then we have the list of things that they put in their suitcase. So that's an example of how to use the colon for a list. What else can we use it for? Well, it can also be used to introduce an explanation or a definition, which is what something means. So for example, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to quit. Elephant, a large grey mammal. I wonder if you can spot where the colon goes in these 2 sentences. Well, there they are. I wonder if you got that right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Again, a complete sentence that makes sense by itself. Colon, and now we have the explanation of what this person is going to do. I'm going to quit. And the second one, elephant, colon, a large grey animal. So that's the definition of what an elephant is. Here's an example of that kind of colon in Letters from the Lighthouse. I could almost imagine how she'd felt that night wearing it. So this is when Suki is wearing her mum's coat. I could almost imagine how she'd felt that night wearing it, colon, and then we have the explanation of how she did feel, strong and brave. Okay, so that is how we use the colon for the work that we are going to do. If you're not sure of anything, of any of the work that we do watch these videos more than once. Keep watching them until you fully understand. So when you've done this, I've got some work on the colon to do, and then after that, we're going to start planning our new diary.